Sheila O Hanrahan-Lawlor.
That's me.
You were a Rose of Tralee many moons ago.
Many moons.
Do you want to tell me about it?
Oh yeah.
How did it start?
I won a competition one night called the Queen of Connemara in Updrard, and then I went into the Galway Rose to be the representative of Connemara, and 3 weeks later I became the Rose of Tralee down in Tralee. So I had a great time out of it altogether.
That was in
1980, 42 years ago.
And it started in 1958.
That's
so
right.
you were the 22nd.
That's right. That's right.
Time is flying,
You've done
isn't
your
it?
homework.
That's fine. So it started out in Updrard on a night out. Unintended. Absolutely.
Unintended, absolutely unintended. Great fun, and you couldn't miss me. I had a yellow jumpsuit on me, and it was very obvious in the dark.
Not the one you're wearing today, no?
No,
that's not yellow. No,
that's orange.
That's orange.
That's it.
Okay. And who informed you in the beginning?
Who, sorry?
Who told you you had been selected?
Somebody involved in the committee in Updrard.
In Updrard?
Yeah, in Updrard.
On the night?
On the night.
On the night
yeah,
you were there?
Yeah.
And what did they say to you? Was it a man or a woman?
A man, and he said, would you come upstairs now, he said, for an interview. And I started to laugh, because we have a Queen of Connemara festival, and I started to laugh, and he said, don't be making little of our festival, really. And I said, my boyfriend at the time said, okay, go on. So I went upstairs and was interviewed. And it was wonderful, actually, and there was a great prize. I think it was something like £500 at the time.
Out in Updrard?
In Updrard, and we had just got engaged, and that was really valuable money.
That was a little help, all right, wasn't it? Yeah. And how many contestants? How did you get into Galway then? How did Galway get involved in it?
Because the Queen of Connemara represented Connemara in the Galway Rose.
Okay.
And there was about 32 contestants that year, and they all represented different festivals around the country.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the festivals were run for charity, and then they would pick a rose on the night. And so I was just selected to be the Updrard representative of Queen. I thought the Queen of Connemara was a lovely title.
And did you have a kind of a county final then, or were you picked off the panel?
The county final was the Galway Rose.
Galway Rose.
And Galway was Galway, Mayo, Roscommon, as far as Athlone, Leitrim, and that was the contestants from all over.
And where was that held?
That was held in the Great Southern Hotel in Eyre Square, which is not called that now, but it was the Great Southern Hotel in those days.
Well, that was a big night then, was it?
Oh, that was a big night. That was a big night. Oh yeah, it was a big night. And I wore my mother's dress. Oh. And a lady came up to me afterwards and she said my dress was awful. And I loved it because it was my mother's. It was old-fashioned like.
And they picked you out that night then, yeah?
Yeah, and I was the only one that night that got their song wrong. I forgot the words.
And what song did you sing?
I sang I'm Just a Girl Who Can't Say No.
Okay.
And I haven't much of a voice either.
So then you were off to Tralee?
So I was off to Tralee 3 weeks later, and my very good friends were really good to me. All of them lent me clothes.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't time to buy anything. And there was good sponsors actually, but I didn't have time to get many clothes.
And what did you wear that night?
For the Rose of Tralee, I wore the same dress as a white dress that Brendan bought me, and I got married in the same dress.
Brendan being your fiance?
Yeah.
At the time?
At the time, yeah.
Brendan
Lawlor,
Portumna. Had to be Lawlor, from Portumna.
Yeah.
And it was a very exciting night down there.
It was really exciting, but we didn't, we had decided who was going to win. So we were both really shocked when I won. So I mean, we were delighted, but we were shocked. And actually my mother and father were there as well. And my father was a proud Roscommon man, and he was delighted.
That's what you're going to say. You're a Roscommon woman yourself, aren't you? Yeah.
Proud to be.
And your father was a well-known man in that area.
Yeah, he was. He was the county surgeon in Roscommon.
Roscommon.
Yeah.
And what did a serious man like that think about an event like this?
Well, actually, you have put you in the nail. You've actually hit the nail on the head, because my father said to me when I told him I was going down, he said, nobody out of our family has ever been involved in anything like that. He thought I had to go out in a bikini.
Do you think you might have to?
No, but it's funny.
Would you have done it?
No, I don't think I would. No, I hadn't the figure for it.
Not even for the money, no? No, the fame, yeah. And who was the host?
Gay Byrne.
On the night.
A complete professional.
And was it as big a festival then as it is now?
It was.
Did they have the dome that
time? They had the dome, and they also had, I suppose what was really important then was that there was an enormous amount of people from abroad, like families that had come, and centres that had come, a lot from America, a lot from Australia, there was a girl from Zimbabwe, and there was a fabulous girl from San Francisco, there was Canadians, lots of English centres, lots of Irish centres, yeah.
And how long did the festival go on for that time?
About 10 days.
10 days.
Yeah,
No,
the roses were involved for about 10 days, but the festival itself in Tralee, I suppose, was about 7.
7?
Yeah.
And what were you doing for the 7 days?
Going to functions, going to visit. You know, they had big festival in the centre of the town, in the town park, and a lot of the, you know, like you'd be down there and you'd have all the small kids coming over asking you for your autograph, and we all walked around with our sashes, and you had to be done up to the nines every day, made up. It was like being at a wedding every day. It was.
And did you do it yourself, or did you do it?
Oh, not at all. There was no such thing as a beautician in those days. That's 42 years ago.
And did you have an escort?
I did. Brendan was my escort, and when I won the Galway Rose, he wrote down a formal letter to ask could he be my escort in Tralee, and he got a grand letter back to say, from the chief escort, said that's grand, it'll save us looking for someone for her.
Okay, yeah. Well, you may have missed another opportunity, maybe.
Yeah.
I might have to edit that
Too
over.
true, too true.
Yeah. And when you went through your routine then on the stage.
Went through a routine. Yeah.
How long did it take you?
I'd say we got about 5 minutes each, and I worked at the time as a social worker with the Adoption Society in Galway, and I sang "I'm Just a Girl Who Can't Say No." So I think it wasn't the greatest choice, but it was yeah. And I suppose one of the things I spoke about that night was about adoption, and that you had to be a child of an unmarried mother to be adopted. Whereas in other jurisdictions in England, your parents could be married and you could be adopted.
Okay,
if they were either unable or willing to mind you, you know.
And were you nervous when all this is going on now? On your
Not really. No, I can get nervous after an event. I rise to events and then afterwards I might be nervous. But at the time I wasn't really nervous actually.
Was Gay a good host?
He was fantastic because he had really good researchers for a start. And they talked to you beforehand and they got all the lowdown. You know, all the succinct points, and then they gave them to him and he'd decide what he was going to bring up. And he was a consummate professional. He had everything prepared. I mean, his jokes might have sounded funny and spontaneous, but actually he knew exactly what he was going to say.
He read in the comic.
Yeah, he worked hard, in fairness to him.
So you went through your routine and then you had to join the gang in the back, did you?
Yeah.
What number were you in the queue? Can you remember?
I was about number 10.
10.
Yeah.
And were there many to go? Had you many more left after you?
Yeah, there was a good few left after me. Yeah, you know.
Would you be nervous or were you just enjoying the show?
No, it was. You'd really be relaxed that it was over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you had been over and that you didn't fall on the stage or make a complete fool out of yourself, or at least you'd hoped you hadn't. But you know, I suppose in one way. You have to expose yourself a bit, and then you feel, God, maybe I should have said that, or maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Always the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like doing an exam.
Exactly.
Like doing an exam. And when the results are coming out, then was it exciting?
Oh, it was really exciting. There's even a photograph in the paper that I kept. I got the photograph of how shocked I was because I was really surprised because we were very certain, Brendan and I, we discussed this. We had thought we had picked the girl who'd win it. So we had a great time. I won't tell you now.
No. So anyway, when you heard your name called out, what happened to you?
Yeah, and then
did you get weak or wake, as they say, no?
No, but you know what? And I wasn't wake or anything, no. What the sad thing about it is that when you are picked out, you actually are separated from the others.
Yeah.
You know, that you're the centre of attention. And you miss actually the connection with the other girls because you're 10 days all together. And you get on, you know, you share your room with somebody, and like being separated is you've I don't know, I miss that actually.
I say that didn't last long now, does it?
No.
And did you get a few quid for it?
Oh, I did. It cost £1,000.
£1,000.
£1,000 in 42 years ago was a fortune.
A lot of money then.
It was a
A lot of
fortune.
money then, yeah. And did you have to do a repeat of your song or anything like that? No, after, or did you just take the check?
No. I think I just. I was like one of these girls that if you watch the Rose of Tralee now and you turn on the telly and you'd say, I wish that girl wouldn't sing. Well, that was me, definitely, because I haven't a voice. I'm grand in a chorus, but I'm not a singer by any means.
And what do you do for the rest of the night then? Had you late night that night?
Oh, we did a late night like that, and actually the fantastic group of people around me for the Galway Rose Committee, and it was Conway's, Patsy and Teresa Conway from Tuam, or from Corrafin, and they were fantastic, and Attractor Burke and Mary Murphy, they were the committee, and they got one of Patsy and Pádraig, the Canadian, because I was the first Galway Rose to win the Rose of Tralee, and they bought a whole load of bottles of champagne. And they went up then to put them up in a room upstairs, and they went up to the room, and the escorts had them all open and all polishing them off before we got up there at all.
Would you think that could have been a good thing?
Yeah.
To an extent, yeah. So what happened after that then? You had a reign for a year then, was it?
Then you reigned for a year, but I mean, in my day, it didn't last that long. You know, you technically you reigned for a year, but you didn't have that many functions like they do now. Lots and lots of. I suppose the highlight was I went to Brussels and I compared the Brussels Rose. And I suppose I went with Mike Murphy, Mike the Shoes, not Mike the News now, from Europe. And apart from that, no, there wasn't that many, there was lots of functions around the country, different festivals, and you'd be asked to go there, and you'd be there at 2 o'clock in the morning, and they'd be selecting your rose, and the halls would be open. But I was working full time as well.
I was going to say, did you get time off work?
I did. I got 10 extra annual leave days from the Western Health Board.
And did you put them all together, or did you split them up?
No, I had to lose them, there might be as I needed them.
As you went to functions and all that kind of stuff, yeah. So when you look back on it, was it a very exciting thing?
It was very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great. It was great,
Yeah.
But I was 26 when I won it, right? And a year after that, the American centres weren't happy. They wanted the age reduced because they felt that if somebody was 18 and somebody was 26, their life situation would be different, and they'd have more to talk about. Obviously, the older you have and the more things you've done. Yeah. So they got.
Well, they had a point, didn't they?
They had a point, and they got it reduced. But actually, now there's new this year, you can be up to 30.
Yeah.
As long as you define yourself as female, you're eligible to enter. You can be married.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's.
And are you going to re-enter?
Well, I don't know. But a friend of mine who's divorced wanted to know was she eligible.
And have you kept in contact with some of the people now?
Oh yeah, I have.
Sorry, no, you're still involved in it to any extent, are you?
Yes, yeah, I'm still involved with the Galway Rose group. I'm very involved with them, and apart from that, we have a rose reunion maybe twice a year of all the former roses, and we have a WhatsApp group between us, and we meet up twice a year in different places, often in the Rose Hotel in Tralee, for a weekend, and. Like it's wonderful. You'd have you'd have somebody in nearly every place you'd visit. You'd have somebody who was involved with the rose, and it's wonderful actually. They're a wonderful group.
And there's what do you think of the Rose of Tralee nowadays? Is it suitable for today's world?
Well, actually, that's a little bit, there's pros and cons. I think it's great. I think it's kind of like the GAA. It's a great celebration of Irishness, and it's hugely valuable for the diaspora because people who have Irish heritage who maybe third or fourth generation who live away, like it's their opportunity to connect up, and they can nearly be more Irish than the Irish themselves. And music and the Rose of Tralee is part of that.
It's still very popular at home, isn't it?
Oh, sure, it is. Huge ratings on, yeah.
Two nights in a year now, except the last 2 years it wasn't held now.
No, it wasn't held.
Because of COVID,
the girl, Sinead Flanagan, who's the current Rose of Tralee, this is her third year as a Rose of Tralee. We reckon we'll get her into the Guinness Book of Records.
She had a good run. She acted, I suppose she didn't do anything. She didn't do anything, no?
She didn't get that much opportunity because obviously there was lots of things. But she's been working full time as a doctor in. No, I think she's from Limerick, but she's actually also Roscommon. Her dad is from Roscommon.
So well done, and I hope you keep in contact with them and keep it going. I think it's a great night. Now I just watched the bits of it,
Yeah.
I'm getting a bit old for that kind of stuff, but best of luck and thanks for
Your granddaughter might be in it.
You never know. And thanks for the chat.
Yeah, you're welcome.